A driving distraction is anything in and around the car that takes your eyes.
It's something that will either manually, visually, or mentally distract you.
A driving distraction is anything that takes your focus away.
Well, it's could be a variety of things that take away from your focus on the driving task.
Driving distraction would be anything that diverts your attention.
A driving distraction
from the driving task
that takes your attention off the road.
So when you look at something like a cell phone, which is the most common, it manually, mentally, and visually distracts you. You take your eyes off the road to look at the phone. You manually take a hand off of the steering wheel, and then you're clearly not focusing mentally on your driving task. What's so frustrating to me, it's a choice. You know, you're choosing to do something where there's all of the statistics out there proving just how dangerous it is. So I mean, you think about it, what really are you doing on your phone that you need to do at that moment in time? I've yet to meet or hear of anybody that's been in a collision or got a ticket from using a phone and then admits, oh, it was worth it. No one says it's worth it. They all say, no, I shouldn't have done it. It was stupid. So what I don't understand about it, the information's already out there. You can't say, I made a mistake and I learned a lesson. The lessons have already been learned by thousands of other people that have led to these statistics being out there. And it's just really frustrating because it's something that's being done while sober. It's something being done when friends and family are in the car. And in my opinion, you know, your life and your passengers' lives and those of the people you're driving around, that should take precedence.
First of all, it's a big mental distraction. The process of thinking about who you're talking to, formulating thoughts of what to say, and then processing what other people are saying can be huge. Now that's just for phone calls. Obviously texting and driving is a huge danger because it also takes your eyes off the road in addition to that mental and manual process of having your hands off the wheel potentially. Communicate before you leave, make a phone call, send a text before you start, and put it on silent, set a do not disturb function on your phone so while you're driving, if incoming calls or texts are happening, you're not distracted by it.
Phones can be really distracting. They ring and your first instinct is to go and pick it up. You take your eyes off the road to pick it up. You can hold it in your hand and put it up to your ear here in Colorado. It doesn't have to be hands-free. Text messaging, that alert goes off and your first instinct again is look down at the phone, check my phone. To combat that, let's turn it off. Let's put it on silent. Let's put it somewhere where it's not going to be in our reach. Let's not talk on the cell phone while we're driving.
Texting is the worst use of a cell phone because physically you have to manipulate the buttons and then you're distracted mentally with the conversation you're trying to carry on. Hands-free would obviously be much less distracting, take away the physical element. Yeah, but you're not focused on driving, you're focused on that person on the other end of your conversation, whether it's text or verbal. I suggest you put it away out of sight so you can't reach it, maybe in the back seat. Then you're not tempted to pick it up and respond to a call or something.
The phone is distracting because, number one, it's making a noise that is not conducive to driving. So immediately, just whatever sound is coming out of that phone, it diverts your attention. No human being can resist, well, who's calling and what are they calling for, and could it be an emergency? And your mind all of a sudden starts going places other than driving. So that's how it gets to be the bigger distraction.
I don't think there's anybody that would argue the number one reason for distracted driving today are smartphones. The reality is this: anytime they ding, make a noise, anything like that, you might not pick it up to grab it and use it to text or respond or even read it. But all it takes is for your focus to go to that for just a second. Phones are definitely distracting on many different levels. That's the whole problem. They touch into all three levels of major distraction. So your mental focus, right on the phone, right? Your physical, and because I've heard many people say, well, is there anything wrong with hands-free calling, Bluetooth calling? Well, actually, yes, there is. It's still, at the end of the day, it's not about what's physically in our hands. It's about what's going on in between our ears that is the most important.